Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Namo Namaha, Jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org. And if you'd like to donate, there's a donate button, and thank you for your support. Tryambakam yajamahe sukhandim pushti vardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrutyo mukshiyamamratut. The three-eyed mystical Hindu. We live in a triune world. Height, width, depth, our concept of time, past, present, future, latent energy, kinetic energy, the phenomena itself. Our very existence is because of a precise balance of distance between the earth and the moon and the sun. A little reflection shows that in life we seek balance. The body itself seeks a balance, homeostasis. Through our many actions and reactions, we are learning, consciously or sometimes subconsciously or without much awareness, to learn to balance our lives. Keep the image of a teeter-totter in mind. Balance in the middle implies that we have one foot on one side, one foot on the other. In other words, we have known what the extremes are like. And we balance in the middle, falling flat on neither side. But this is the life journey. We need to recognize our three natures. We have a body, we have a mind, we have emotions. The reflection shows that this is what we do in life. We seek to learn to balance our body, mind, and emotions. But this implies that we will be off balance many times. In fact, this is the game of life, to, in a sense, push us off balance. Watch the female gymnast who learned to balance on 4 inches of the balance beam. 4-inch wide beam. And how often in their life do they perform a perfect routine, yet they keep trying and trying. As many times as they sway from one side to the other or actually fall off, they get back up and are striving for those few perfect routines, perfect balance in life. It seems inherent in all sentient beings to learn to find a balance to get through this particular life. Remember Mr. Miyagi's profound words to his disciple. Go find the balance. Whole life balance. Is it any wonder that in the religions of the world, there's often a reference to a trinity? Father, mother come together to give birth to the child. Life itself is creation, preservation, destruction. Repeat. In the Hindu yoga dharma, among other things, we represent these 3 simultaneous acts as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, respectively. In the bhajan, to Shiva, we sing Sada Lola Hara, the truth Sada, of the swing Lola, of life. The highs, the lows, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the joy, the sorrow. Destroy Hara, our ignorance. In other words, we learn by doing, by living life, by being passionate about life. That's the only way we can ultimately develop compassion, knowing what another feels because we've been through these experiences. You know, the cliche is sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Sometimes we win, sometimes we learn. We often learn more from our mistakes. Look at the very evolution of life. It's a learning curve. but the laws of nature, the laws of motion. 1, 2, 3. Inertia, acceleration, action, reaction. Actually, in the Hindu yoga dharma, we speak of these laws of motion as the gunas, or the attributes. Tamas, inertia. Rajas is both acceleration and the resultant action and reaction. And these three laws of motion result in an equilibrium, sattva. In physics, we have the dynamic principles of life, the dynamic forces, gravity, electricity, and magnetism. Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. Three simply profound principles, which actually is found in the Hindu understanding of our inner essence, which we call the Atmana, or the soul, if you will, that which is not the mind, body, emotions. Sat Chit Ananda. E equals mc squared. Energy and light is Chid, and matter is Sat, pure existence. And with heat and the human emotion of bliss or love, we add Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. E equals mc squared. The very essence of the Hindu yoga dharma, Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art, is the recognition that we are the Atmana with this triune nature, physical, mental, and emotional. This triune nature is beautifully exemplified by the most profound Sanskrit Hindu word, Om. Yes, it's a word, representing our three natures, animal, human, and divine. Vaishvanara, Tejasya, Prajna, the third eye point. Also symbolically represented by the primal Hindu deity Ganapati, whose very form is animal, human, and divine. This Vaishvanara, Tejasya, Prajna can also represent the waking state, the dream state, and the dreamless state. In the Hindu Yoga Dharma, we speak of three worlds in our famous Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Svaha Tat Savito Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhemehe Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. O divine beings of all three worlds, let us contemplate the resplendent form of creation, which, like the radiant sun, has the power to burn away all ignorance. May it grant us its grace and guide our intellects. Saralolahara. So as we go through this life, does it not make sense to examine our beliefs, which result in our attitudes and our actions? The Ba syndrome. B-A-A. Like the sound that sheep make, they do follow one after the other. In reverse, examining our actions, there's an attitude behind them, and a belief behind those. And, ironically, many of those beliefs are religious in nature. An obsession with always being on top, number one, produces that attitude of superiority, which may come from a religious belief of superiority, exclusivity. Making the statement, you only live once, you only go around once, produces a certain attitude of grabbing for all the gusto in this one life belief. And despite what some cult leaders may try to indoctrinate their students with, we all have beliefs. They start as assumptions, But if we actually use the scientific method, which starts with a hypothesis, carry out our experimentation through life, our beliefs may become convictions to us. Same too with faith. It starts as hope. But through time and testing, we more or less develop a guarantee about a relationship, a job, beliefs, religions. The Ba syndrome: belief, attitude, action. Every generation has its cliches, and upon reflection, they seem a little bit cringy. But back in the 50s, many used to say, "Hey, what's your bag, man?" Meaning, what are you into? What are you into? BAG. We are bound to act to grow, inevitably bound. We will act, and we will grow. How we act is significant. And we are bound in order to act, to grow. We are constrained within this specific body-mind-emotion complex for this life, in order that we may act and grow. Everyone has a mission in any one lifetime. So we need to find our way. Ever feel like you've lost your way? You've lost your internal compass, your grounding? Many of those who have suffered from mental and emotional despair will proclaim, "I've lost my internal compass, my moral compass." So let's look at 3 simply profound principles to find our inner GPS. Gratitude, persistence, sacrifice. Gratitude, thank you. Being thankful for something. Persistence, I can do this. Sacrifice, sacred doing, who can I help? Simply say to yourself, thank you. I can do this. Who can I help? GPS. Gratitude, persistence, sacrifice. We seek to be fit in life rather than to throw a fit. Diametrically opposed meanings. Why not find inner truth, FIT? In the Hatha Yoga, Hindu devotional postures, we do Trikona Asana, the triangle pose. Highly significant. The triangle consists of a broad base, which then rises up to the unification point at the top. And the broader the base, the larger the mountain. The triangle. Turn it upside down. Dig a hole. Today's New Age cliches are often "we are all one," which is bad math. Looking only at the top of the mountain, ignoring the mountain, ignoring the many paths to get to the top of the mountain. Standing at the bottom, we can be inspired by looking at the top, speaking about the top. Sooner or later, we're going to have to find a path, stay on it, and follow it all the way to the top. And certainly if we ever try to lead others, we have to know that path completely. Relevantly, this is the different religions of the world. They are specific, established religious paths to be respected. The various religions of the world are established traditions. Back to the bag principle, the Christian bag is not the same as the Hindu yoga bag. If it is your desire to achieve spiritual realizations, if you will, find a path. Stick to it, climb to the unification process. Avoid taking from established religious paths, and then claiming to be a teacher without ever having traveled the length and breadth of the path. Today's spurious yoga movement is indicative of not truly understanding what it is to find a path, commit to it, and have the courage to follow it through. The various religions of the world are specific paths. Find one that fits you. Or perhaps create an entirely new path, but it would be new. Don't simply keep going around the base of the mountain, sampling one after the other, if you ever expect to get to the top. Sooner or later, there has to be a certain amount of commitment. And while walking our path, we may at times feel very exclusive, and this becomes the fundamentalist who thinks that their path is the only one. And all of this is truly resolved only when one reaches the summit, if one does at all. Some paths may not go to the summit. They're not all the same. So a nice 3-point acronym to understand the various religions of the world is the NAT principle. And playing with this word a little bit, a gunat, silent G, is a pest. Natty is a nautical term when one is well turned out, well dressed, perfectly dressed, being very natty. The choice is up to us. Are we well appointed? Do we have our act together? Or are we a pest? N-A-T. In other words, the fundamentalist mindset of thinking that my religion is the way, and every other way is false or evil. The other extreme is often to swing to the other side of the no way, or always. In other words, cliches such as yoga is for everybody, yoga is universal, yoga is not a religion, we have no beliefs. That's the no way extreme. Often a knee-jerk reaction to the fundamentalist the way. But might there be a balance in the middle? Neither falling flat on the fundamentalist side or on the other New Age, no way or always side? How about a middle ground of a way, N-A-T? Saying to yourself, my religion is not the way. It's the way for me, but it's not the way. And it's certainly not no way or a universal way. It's a way. Now we start to develop our reasoning qualities. In the Hindu Yoga Dharma, we have sign language called mudras. A classic is Vitarka mudra, when the thumb and the forefinger touch, making a 0, which the Hindus invented, by the way, and the 3 fingers sticking up, the OK sign, if you will. We call it Vitarka mudra, which means reason. Reason and logic. First step. Followed by sound judgment. The ability to make wise decisions. Vitarka vichara, which, interestingly, are the first 2 signs of samadhi or calm wisdom according to the Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali. Vitarka vichara. Reason. Judgment. Now we've set goals or aims in life. AIM. In Sanskrit, Aim is also the seed mantra of Mata Saraswati, the female deity of knowledge. What's our aim? What's our focus in life? A courageous warrior develops aim. The third eye point, the bindi. From the Vedas, Puram Bindu Vajri Parushtutaha, ancient, soulful warrior. the bindi, the mark of the Hindu, the third eye point. And if we go in from this third eye point, where many see the antar jyotir, the inner light, we also know that therein lie the command glands of the body, the pituitary and the pineal. Hence, in the Hindu yoga dharma, we refer to this point as the ajna chakra, the command center, the bindi, the third eye point, the mark of the Hindu, the target, if you will, in a positive way, developing our aim or aim, inner knowledge. And project aim, learn to juggle life, this sadalolahara of life, to find the middle balance. Literally practice the art of juggling. Learn to juggle 3 balls, if you will. And as we go through the various combinations of aim or aim, we see a process here. As we're learning about ourself, our individual I, working with it to ultimately transcend it, which means to climb, to travel, not transvalue. That's the opposite. That's skipping over. That's, for example, becoming an instant 200-hour certified yoga teacher. So our aim is to work with this I. Notice it's in the middle at first, AIM. But we can rearrange it. AMI, AMI, again, about me, me, me. Or MIA, missing in action. Me, 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 all about me again. Or MAI, my. Finally, we come to deeper introspection. We turn Vitarka into Chunmudra, inner reflection. I am a, as we introspect and think, finally I am. Now we put the Atma in the center. And relevantly, the I knows its place on one side, and we respect the others on the other side. I am. Isn't it interesting that when translated into English, this is apparently what Moses encountered on Mount Sinai when he simply heard an inner voice, if you will? I am. As Hindus, we would say, Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. We are the Atmana, the soul of Sat Chit Ananda. Pure existence, Sat, or pure consciousness. Chid, pure energy, which becomes sound energy, heat energy, light energy. And then the Ananda, the bliss, the warmth of the inner experience of love, bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. Jyoti, Shakti, Ananda Shanti. The love, light, and energy that is the inner essence. Love, light, and energy, Om. This are we with emotions, mind, and body. 1, 2, 3. Love, light, and energy. Om, A-U-Um. 1, 2, 3. Emotions, mind, and body. 1, 2, 3. The wisdom of focusing at the third eye point, prajna. In the Hindu yoga dharma, coconuts are sacred. Note they have 3 eyes. And when we break the hard shell, the rough brown shell of the coconut, what do we find inside? The pure white of the Atmana, the inner light. We have to outfit ourselves. We have to rig ourselves in a good way. For the opposite can be to fix the game, to be dishonest, to rig the game. Interestingly, this is the first Sanskrit word we encounter, rig, Veda. Religion is good, R-A-G. When we understand that religion means religio, to link, We understand using the English word what this process is all about, trying to get ourselves together. This subsequently meant the development of the various religious traditions that we have today. But the process is inherent as we try to link ourselves together. So much for the cliche, I'm spiritual but not religious. Religious is the relinking process. Spirit is the incorporeal. So too, Atmana, that which is beyond the body, mind, and emotions. The top of the mountain, if you will. The mountain itself is the relinking process. That we can choose to climb or not, it's up to us. We can choose a path on it, it's up to us. And the Sanskrit Hindu word rig means to worship. Devotion worship is really the secret ingredient of life. Without being devoted, we won't be successful in anything. However, devotion must be predicated upon ethics, because we can be devoted to the wrong thing for decades. We can be doing asat or untruthful yoga for decades. So in the Hindu Yoga Dharma, we have a rational methodology for reaching the third eye point, the bindi, spiritual perception, prajna, into enlightenment. It actually follows the science of life. Work, heat, light, thermodynamics. Work produces heat, heat produces light. Work, kri, karma. The first yoga, karma yoga. This work produces the religious fervor or heat of bhakti yoga. Turn up the heat, you get the light, raja yoga. Work, heat, light. The classic Hindu yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, and now with the light turned on, so to speak, or uncovered within, we can read, if you will, the inner wisdom, the Gyan Yoga. Now, in the Vedas, the rishis had a beautiful threefold system, which today is now our classic Hindu yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Gyan Yoga. And remember, within those, we have Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Japa Yoga, Nada Yoga, Natha Yoga. And all of this leads to an inner awakening of the Kundalini, the inner essence, the sap, if you will. And so too with sap, there can be diametrically opposed meanings. We can be a sap, a foolish person. Or we can uncover the inner sap, the vitality, the essence, the health. We can be silly and pathetic. Or we can be spiritual and practical. In other words, religion, spirituality. This threefold system in the Vedas were the three khandas. Khanda means root. Roots are what hold things together. Khanda is synonymous with yoga, yuj, to yoke. Again, in Hatha Yoga, we do tree posture or vrikshasana. And the tree is teaching us. They are our Gurujis teaching us to be rooted, grounded. And of course, we are grounded in what we call Hindu Dharma. And our roots are Karma Yoga. The tree reaching up, Bhakti Yoga, devotion. Branching out, leaves, flowers, the royal state of Raja Yoga, culminating in the fruit of enlightenment, Gyan Yoga. In other words, as Hindus, we want to be fully blossoming, blooming, productive trees, always doing Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Gyan Yoga, repeating the process, decade after decade, growing into a more mature tree, which we then can share our fruits with others. So we follow the wisdom of Bhumi Mata, Mother Nature, Ritta, the first written word for what we call Hindu Dharma. We follow this process of work, heat, light, the khandas, the roots, karma khanda, upasana khanda, jnana khanda. The beautiful threefold system that we now speak of as karma, bhakti, raja, jnana, or in Tamil land, chariya kariya yogam and jnanam, or as the Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali expounded in his classic Astanga Yoga, which is one small portion of the Yoga Sutras. Yama and Niyama are both karma and bhakti yoga. Asana is hatha yoga, though he doesn't mention any specific asana. Pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, that's all Raja Yoga, leading to samadhi, Gyan Yoga. But the rishis had a beautiful, profound, succinct system, karma kanda, upasana kanda, jnana kanda. We know karma, we know jnana. Upasana was so profound. It literally means the inseparability of three yogas, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, and raja yoga. The Sanskrit Hindu word upasana means worshipful meditation, worship bhakti yoga, meditation raja yoga. And in the word we have asana, which is first and foremost an attitude, which then becomes a physical posture, sthirasukham asanam. For what purpose? To go into the absolute, ananta, and to transcend duality, not be immersed in duality. So in this one word, the rishis combine the inseparability of these three Hindu yogas with a grounding, a root in karma khanda. One now simultaneously does bhakti, raja and hatha, upasana khanda, leading to the uncovering of the inner realization, jnana khanda. And this threefold process to spiritual illumination, remember, in light we're meant to be. It's not a far-flung concept. And light is also the feeling of lightness as opposed to being depressed. To uncover this inner gem, follow the physics of life, the science of life. Gravity, electricity, magnetism. Hone in on the body. From the belly down, gravity. The electricity at the heart, the magnetic head. Follow the science. Karma Bhakti Raja. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Gravity, electricity, magnetism. Beautifully and symbolically represented by our many Hindu devas and devis, which one may look at as beautiful works of art, and or the profound symbolism which relates to our life. Life is symbolism. We are symbolic creatures. We name and label everything. Or one may have an intimate experience of one or more of these Hindu spirit beings, these devas and devis. But following this classic process of gravity, electricity, magnetism, uncovering the inner gem, if you will, we can look at the now sampradayas, the sects within Hinduism. As Hindus, we always start with the grounding, the gravity that is Mahaganapati. It's not for nothing they chose an elephant. Try to push an elephant over. Grounded, gravity. Be that. Be foundational. That's the first chakra. Muladhara, rooted. The square, solid foundation, earthy. Then if we're a Saiva Hindu, we've chosen that sampradaya. Remember Harihara Karupa Gunashila. From Ganapati we go to the electricity at the heart. Skanda Murga, his brother, the youthful loving warrior. On into the magnetic head of Shiva Parvati, Shiva Shakti. Ganapati Murga Shiva Shakti Om. Or equally valid if one is a Vaishnava. Always start with Ganapati, gravity. Then go to Krishna, the electricity at the heart. Again, the youthful, loving warrior. Go to the magnetic head of Vishnu, Lakshmi, Vishnu Devi. Ganapati Krishna Vishnu Devi, Lakshmi. Or, also in Vaishnavism, Ganapati grounding. Again, the electric warrior at the heart, loving, youthful warrior Hanumanji. He opens his heart to the deity head, the magnetic head of Sitaram. Ganapati Hanuman Sitaram. Or focusing entirely on the Matajis, which is the beauty of the Hindu Yoga Dharma. We understand the wisdom of creation, male and female, both in the material and the spirit realm. Remember, we Hindus do not worship God. That's a Christian term. G-O-D, grand old delusion. In the Shakti Sampradaya, Ganesha is understood as gravity, grounding. Then we have Mother Durga riding Bengal, the tiger. Mother Lakshmi, the energetic prosperity at the heart. And remember, she holds the Amritam there, and the money goes out the other hand, not the other way around. And Mother Saraswati, the magnetic head. Durga Lakshmi Saraswati. And in the beauty of the Shakti Sampradaya, we go from before creation to where we are now. Before the Big Bang, Kalima, the Absolute, of which we cannot speak, Maunavakya Parabrahman, Yatovacho Nivartanteya Prapyas Manasa Saha, represented by the darkness of Mother Kali, so misunderstood. Into the Big Bang of creation, Ma Durga, coalescing through eons of time and evolution to where we are now, refinement of life, Ma Parvati, Kali Durga Parvati. It's up to each one of us to realize what the true gems are in life. Keep one foot in the world, one foot up. Prakriti Purusha. And uncover the inner gem of the Atmana. Remember, of all of our duties in life, our dharmas, what's holding us together, Dri. Atmadashana Paramo Dharma. Our supreme duty is to uncover, realize our inner Atmana, Atmadarshana. We Hindus try and live this triune lifestyle. And remember, Hindu Dharma is a recognized world religion. Whether we say Hindu, Rita Dharma, Vedic Dharma, Yoga Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, Brahmanism, Hinduism, the Hindu religion, Sabeka Sarva Ekam. And anyone can become a Hindu. Like any of the other religions of the world, this would require intense commitment and study. And typically one receives a Sanskrit Hindu name, perhaps a Tamil name. This is the Namakarana Samskara, the initiation into the Hindu Yoga Dharma. This is especially relevant for all those who are, without knowing it, perhaps knowing it, taking from the already established Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific lifestyle with yoga, Ayurveda, chakras, kundalini, etc., etc. To be truly interested and truly honest, one should then do the process of becoming a Hindu before they ever attempt to teach any of these areas. This would be true to any of the great religions of the world. They are taught by members of the religion. And because this is a vocation, because this is something about the spirit which we cannot buy and sell, religious teachings and practices are always offered on a donation basis. So in this Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific lifestyle, you can see this triune nature exemplified in the very acts that we do. We do pradakshina. We walk around the deity 3 times, we turn around 3 times to remind us of this triune nature of life. To remind us that life is a step-by-step, pade process. Karmakanda, Upasanakanda, the anaconda. Following the gem principle of our devatas. Understanding creation, preservation, and destruction, the Trimurti. We take the arti 3 times to our eyes, opening up the inner eye, the third eye point. Puram Bindu Vajri Purush Tutaha, ancient soulful warrior. And Saiva Hindus wear the Tripundra. Shiva holds the Trishul, reminding us on a daily basis to try to rid ourselves, burn up the Vibhuti. Burn up the greed, the anger, the lust, lobha, krodha, kama, the anava karma, maya. By dana dayadvam damyata, by giving, by compassion, by control. Which then opens up the bindi, the third eye point. And we too become the three-eyed one. This takes time, this takes effort, it takes commitment. Lifetime after lifetime, samsara. So we worship the 3 eyes of excellent fragrance. And just as the cucumber, when it's ripe, naturally falls from the vine, we too will be released from the delusion, the illusion, the maya, of thinking we are simply a body, mind, and emotions, achieving the moksha, the freedom, the samadhi, the calm wisdom, the kaivalya, the liberation. Om Tryambakam yajamahe sukhandim pushti vardhanam orva rukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiya mamratat. And as we always end, taking personal responsibility, being humble enough to admit when we're wrong, when we make mistakes, when we've been following perhaps untruth for decades. We go from untruth to truth. Asato ma sad gammaya. From our ignorance to our ongoing enlightenment. Tamaso ma jyotir gammaya. Always remembering tattvamasi, the fact that we are the Atmana. Mrityorma amritam gammaya. And along the way, along this eternal journey, we strive for peace, peace, peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Enjoy the 3.